What's up, good people? What's up, good people? It's your boy, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr., the Impact Builder, coming to you on this Work for It Wednesday. What do we do on Wednesday? We put in that work. I know people call it hump day and everything like that, but it's also the day that we put that work in. We put that work in no matter how we may be feeling, no matter how, whatever the circumstances, and there's a lot going on in this world and in our individual lives, but we still have to show up and put that work in. We still have to be consistent and put that work in. That's what we do, because that's what we're called to do as entrepreneurs, as leaders, to be able to put that work in. Y'all know what we've been doing this week. We've been talking about the art of leadership. The art of leadership. This is actually my book here. So I've been wanted to delve into a couple of things that I deal with in in the book, The Art of Leadership, because it deals with the pillars of the community, being a leader, being an entrepreneur. We look at leadership from five different. I look at leadership from five different perspectives. That's the family, which we talked about Monday, education, which we talked about yesterday. Today, we're going to talk about government. What does government have to do with leadership? What does government have to do with entrepreneurship? And each of these pillars that I'm dealing with, these pillars that I'm dealing with in the community, they each kind of interconnect with each other. Some kind of way they interconnect. Now, with government, it touches every aspect of our lives. It touches where we where we live, where we may dine or eat, go, the car we drive, or everything that we do is touched by government. Every single thing that we do is by government. Think of the laws. There's not every law that is written, may not apply to us, but the laws that that we're governed by do affect us. So, as a leader, as an entrepreneur, you have to be cognizant of that. But I'm going to get into what government and leadership. What does leadership look like from the government lens? What do we need to be doing as a government in order to be able to make our cities successful, our state successful, and our country successful? That's what leadership is. You got leadership on the local level, state level, and federal level. And I think we as entrepreneurs have to understand and look at it, whether we are a leader in our family, in education, in business, or the church. We have to look at this dynamic right here, because, like I said, this impacts all of us across the board. So we have to be cognizant of what's going on. As an entrepreneur, you want to understand what's going on in the area that you live in from a government perspective. What does your government look like, in the area where you live, in your local area? Who are your local city council people? Are they effective leaders? Are they doing those things that benefit not just you individually as an entrepreneur, but are they doing things that benefit the community as a whole? To me, that's what good leadership is. Leadership isn't just about doing things for certain individuals just because they contributed to your campaign, or because they someone that you know. Good leadership from a government perspective is about what the people need. What are those people that you are leading? Because yes, as a government official, elected official, you are a leader. So what are you doing to be able to effectively lead those that have chosen you to be in government? That's what we're talking. That you got to go to work. You've got to put the work in. If you're going to be a city council leader, you've got to go to work. If you're going to be a state representative. You got to go to work. If you are a community organizer, you've got to go to work. If you are going to be a mayor, you've got to go. You got to do the work. Everybody knows the issues that the city that I'm in and I love to death, that I'm born and raised in, Baltimore, Maryland, has its issues. And the thing that I say, what does it look like? What does the leadership look like? What is the leadership doing in order to be able to make our city better? That's what government does. It's supposed to be doing, making the city, making the state better. It's your responsibility to be able to make it better as a leader. And then it's our responsibility as the people to ensure that who we put into this government leadership positions, that they do the work that they've been put there and assigned to do. What is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. That's not good leadership. That's not. What does good leadership look like? Good leadership looks like those who are accountable, those who seek to make things better for the area in which they are responsible for. That there is a difference when they came in office and then when they leave office. Is it better? That's leadership is about, in and of itself, is about making people better. Y'all know, y'all hear me say it all the time. My mission, my purpose is to make you better by the end of the year than you were at the beginning of the year. But it's also to make sure that every encounter that you have with me as an entrepreneur, whether it's a book, whether it's hearing me speak, whether it's listening to this live, is to make you better. It is leadership's role to make you better. And if leaders aren't making it better, making you better, then they are ill-equipped to be leaders. I'm going to say that again for those that are in the back. If you as a leader are not making people better, then you are ill-equipped to be a leader. One of the things that I talk about in my book, The Art of Leadership, is those who were in the position of leadership and they're only there because they want the title. Now, I could talk about those who we know in government who only wanted the title, didn't want to do the work, don't want to do the work. They just want the title. I've seen people in business in my career, people that I know and have worked with, that were given titles, that were put into positions I knew they weren't qualified, and they showed that they weren't qualified, but they were in the position only for the title. So if you are in government and you're only there for the title, you are doing a disservice to the people who put you there. And the people who put you there have to recognize it and have to say, hey, nah, that person is not a good leader. And we can't have them leading this city, this state, this this national government. They're ill-equipped to do that. And until we, as the people that elect these officials, come to understand that, you'll continue to have chaos. You'll continue to have disarray. But the people have got to recognize that. And those that are in leadership, in government, have to recognize it too. Now there are gonna be many that are there just to, because they feel it's a way for them to be able to enhance themselves and enhance some of their friends. But the thing of it is, when you're in leadership in government, you're there to serve the people. You're there to serve others. That's why they call it serving. As leaders, any leader, your first thought should be about serving others. And that was one of the things that I loved about Dr. King, that I loved about Malcolm X, that they had the mindset. Fred Hampton, they had the mindset of leadership, which is service. And they challenged those who were in leadership, in government, who were there to say, hey, I'm here to serve, but you're not serving. You can't say that you're in government to serve and then you're not serving the people. You're not doing what the people are asking you to do. We can just look at the news and see it's happening all over. You have people in these positions of leadership power in government and are abusing it and are just doing whatever it is that they want to do that's going to benefit them and not the people. And when you are in the servership of leadership in government, we have to be very, very careful, because you're making laws that affect entrepreneurs. You're making laws that affect others. I mean, it's just so much. The issue that's going on with Disney down in Florida, those types of issues with entrepreneurship and government, should not happen. Of course, you're going to have things that we may want to do as entrepreneurs that we might not be able to do because of restrictions that we have, from the government, and those boundaries are there for a reason. Just like with with all of the other things that are going on with trying to keep certain books out of our classroom, that impacts education. I told you these topics that I'm talking about this week about the art of leadership, they're all intertwined. And government is connected to all of them. Government is connected to the family. Government is connected to education. Government is connected to business. Government is connected to the church. And I'll be dealing with those two over the next couple of days, business and the church. But government today, that I'm dealing with government today, government touches all of them. And when you have people in positions of power in government, and they want to misuse it, it becomes a dangerous tool. It becomes a dangerous tool. So on this Work For It Wednesday, take a look. Take a look at your city. Take a look at your state. Take a look on the federal level. You as an entrepreneur should know who your elected officials are. You as a family should know who your elected officials are. You as an educator should know who your elected officials are. Why? You as a business owner should know who your elected officials are. I think I said that. And then you as the church should know who your elected officials are. And it should be more than just seeing them during election time. If you're an elected official and the only time that your constituents see you is during election time in church, that is a show enough sign of not being an effective leader, not being a qualified leader. Your constituents should know your name, should know the things that you're getting done for them in your area. And if they don't, then you're not doing what it is that you're supposed to be doing. Oh, yeah, you got to work for it. I know yesterday was Tell the Truth Tuesday, but we work for it Wednesday. So you need to earn being in that position. You need to earn the votes that you get from your constituents. You need to earn and work for making sure that the area, the district, whatever it is that you are leading is the best district and area in your area, whether it's the city, state, or federal level. I don't care what level you're on. Whatever constituents that you have, they should hold you in high regard and saying, wow, that's an effective government leader. And not saying you got to be perfect, not saying that any of us have to be perfect. But at the end of the day, it should be effective. You should be effective. You want to make sure of that. So, today on this work forward Wednesday, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Are you gonna work? Let's go to work. It's time to go to work. As leaders, you don't, and especially this, I'm talking to y'all government officials today. You don't have time to just sit in your office. You got to do the work, and it's our responsibility as families, as educators, as business owners, as the church, to ensure that you do the work. Every leadership position that I'm talking about here is responsible for being accountable, being consistent, and being accountable, being consistent, and being responsible. You're accountable for your actions. You're consistent in your in what it is that you represent and what you say you want to do, and then you're responsible for the issues that you address or don't address. Yeah, you're responsible for the issues that you do address or don't address, and you've got to look at that. And we, the people, have got to look at that. Leadership in any capacity is not for those not for the weak at heart. That's why you're leaders. Like I said, leaders make people better. When I think of leadership, I think of does that person make me better? How does that person make me better? Whether it's in my family, whether it's education, whether it's business, whether it's government, whether it's business, whether it's the church. Do they make me better? Do they make the people around them better? That was one of the great things that I said about why one of the greatest things about Magic Johnson to me over Michael Jordan. Magic Johnson, as a basketball player, made his teammates better. Michael Jordan didn't in the beginning. He didn't make them better. But great leaders do. If you look at those great government officials, look at those who made their cities better, their states better, or on the federal level made overall better. Take a look at them. Know who your city representatives are, your city council. Know who your state representatives are, and know who your federal representatives are. Know them. Look them up if you don't know them. and make sure that they know your name, especially if you're an entrepreneur. If you're an entrepreneur, they should know your name. Oh, this is so and so. Yeah, it's me. And I'm making sure that you know who I am, and that you know that I'm going to hold you accountable for what you said, what you do, and how you act. That's what leadership does. So as you go about your day to day, that's your that's your assignment. I want you to look up your government officials today. Who is my city council person? Who is my state delegates? Who is my state senator? Who's my governor? What does he represent? What was his platform? Have I seen him speak somewhere before? And I watched the other day one of my friends that has business associates, business friends, who has a show podcast as well, and he had former lieutenant governor on the show, and it was a great conversation. Great conversation. And when our government officials can give you what they've done, what they intend to do, and what they are moving towards, and the vision that they have, you can truly have a better understanding of where they're leading you to. And if you listen to them, and you learn what it is that they're about, then when you go to vote for them, there won't be any doubt, because you'll have the information. You'll know who they are. But we've got to do the work. They've got to do the work once they get in office, but we've got to do the work before we put them in office. I'm going to say that again. You've got to do the work before you put them in office. They've got to do the work once we put them in office. And if they aren't doing the work once we put them in office, then you have the ability to be able to vote them out of office. That's any government official. Any city, state, federal level. You have the ability to be able to vote them out of office. That's the great thing about the Constitution that this government does, that this country does have, is our Constitution gives us the ability to be able to do that. But we have to be empowered to do it. We have to be empowered to do it and realize that power. Government officials are only as strong as we allow them to be. They got to work for it. Leadership is about working for it, y'all. Put your boots on, strap it up, put the belt on, make sure you got that belt on. Because as a government official, you got to do the work. As a government leader, you've got to do the work. And we, the people, should be there to ensure that you do the work that you said that you were going to do. Holding you accountable. Making sure you're consistent. Making sure you're responsible. That's what we do. That's what we do on this Work For It Wednesday. It's about leadership, y'all. It's about entrepreneurship. It's about leadership, being connected. Being connected to those that write the laws that we have to abide by as entrepreneurs. That's what the art of leadership is about. Success strategies, success habits, and making sure that those that we put in leadership, that are in leadership, do what it is that they are supposed to be doing. that they are accountable, that they are reliable, they're responsible, they're consistent. Anybody that is in government leadership and is inconsistent, anybody that's in government leadership that is not reliable, they're ill equipped to be in the position of leadership. Ill equipped. And it's our responsibility to not have them in that position of leadership. Can't blame anybody but us if we continue to allow them to be there. It's your boy, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr., the Impact Builder. Yeah, we impacting y'all. I told you we're about these principles that I'm giving you all year long in order to be able to be successful. And if even as a government official, if you can't utilize these principles, then yeah, we're going to make sure that you are not ill-equipped to be in the position of leadership. I told you I'm about making you better by the end of the year than you were at the beginning of the year. Giving you these tools, giving you these tools, giving you this information, knowledge that you need in order to be successful is what I'm here to do. That's what I want. That's my mission. That's my purpose in doing it. So that's what we're dealing with today. Go out. It's Wednesday. Work for it. Put that work in. Put that work in, y'all. Let's put that work. Let's go to work. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Have a great day.